I won't trick you guys this time. There's no special music I can play out loud. Hello everyone, this is Great Mechanic Car Repair. Today we're going to share the disassembly of a bus engine. This is the engine right here. A lot of friends are asking why it isn't a repair, but a disassembly? Because the bus has been scrapped. This is a picture I found online. I can't read the Russian name of this car. It's called MMZ 4234. The engine we're going to disassemble today is called MMZ D-245. The engine is produced by the Minsk Motor Plant. The power output is 245 horsepower. The bus we saw earlier was manufactured by the Pavlovsk Bus Factory, a high-floor mid-size bus. He is currently disassembling the engine because he has a deep connection with this engine. He repaired this engine before. After the repair, it was installed in the bus. It's been almost 3 years now. And now the engine has failed again. After this failure, the bus was directly scrapped. Don't you think it's a bit wasteful? Don't worry. At the end of the video, there are some pictures of the bus. You'll know why the bus had to be scrapped. He is also very curious about this engine. Why the engine failed so seriously. After only 2 or 3 years. This guy's name is Andrei Alexandrovich. He's disassembling the high-pressure fuel pump here. Actually, when you see the layout of this oil circuit, many friends will know that this engine is definitely very old. Because it doesn't use any common rail technology, nor does it use any unit pump technology. It uses a mechanical fuel pump for direct fuel supply. Then, when trying to disassemble the high-pressure fuel pump here, there's an end cap at the head. You need to remove this end cap first. After removing the 3 bolts of the end cap, inside is the fixing bolt of the fuel pump gear. Engines like this one generally have a low probability of failure because it is a pure mechanical structure. It doesn't have any electronic failures. Once damage occurs, then it must be a major issue. Because Andrei said, this engine is already 15 years old. So, based on this age, this bus should be from around 2007. And at that time, this bus also just underwent a modernization upgrade. If this engine is also from around 2007, then its displacement should be 9.2 L. However, for this engine, its emission standard definitely isn't the O1 standard. It should be O2 or O3, because it introduced the Euro 3 standard in 2006. This engine's specific standards, I really can't find much information. Here, the cylinder head cover is opened. Let's see how dirty it is inside. Normally, the valve springs inside, and valve rockers should be very clean. But the valve rockers and valve springs on this side have a considerable amount of oil and carbon deposits. Look, this oil is very heavy. This proves that there should be a valve below. Is already in an open state. Is not closing tightly. So, during fuel injection, including during combustion, some gases rushed up. Here, the oil filter seat is removed. Look at the bottom to see if there are any metal shavings. Here, you can see some metal shavings. That proves that there should be some parts inside the engine that have broken, or some unusual wear has occurred. Many friends will definitely be curious, since the bus has already been scrapped, then this engine is also directly scrapped. Doesn't it count? Since we already know that some parts inside have broken, what's the situation? Is there any meaning in disassembling and repairing it? For this kind of engine can still be installed on other vehicles after it's repaired. Especially since he repaired this engine 3 years ago. He has confidence in his skills, but he just doesn't know what the problem is. What we need to do next is to remove the rocker arm shaft, then pull out the iron bar inside. This is the fuel injector. This is the fixing bolt of the rocker arm shaft. In this case, the rocker arm shaft needs to be thoroughly cleaned before it can be used again. Or even the rocker arm assembly, which is seriously coked up. It needs to be replaced. Here is where the connecting bolts of the cylinder head and the crankcase are being removed. After loosening all the bolts, the cylinder head can be lifted directly. Let's take a look at the engine block. After lifting it, don't say, "Oh, I didn't install the gasket." The gasket is installed. It's stuck to the cylinder head. Here, you can also see some marks on the piston. Let's put the cylinder head aside first. Let's take a look here. There are also rust marks on the valves. Including this valve here, it can no longer close. So, this causes some oil and gas, and then shoots directly out from this position. This steel also has a very serious carbon buildup. And there are also some traces of water ingress. These traces of water ingress should be because the engine was not stored properly. Flip the engine over. Here we're going to remove the oil pan. Here there's no engine stand. If there was a stand, we could just rotate it. When removing the oil pan, we also check if there are any metal shavings inside. If there are some larger metal shavings, then this engine can basically be declared as scrapped. If not, then the engine can be refurbished and reused. Don't think this machine is too old. Actually, this type of machine is quite popular in some extremely cold regions. It's still quite popular. This engine's operating range is between -45 degrees Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius. When operating at -25 degrees Celsius, it needs to use an auxiliary heater. That is, it needs to use electric heating. This engine is equipped with this. You just need to turn on the switch. Here, the oil pump and oil filter pipe have been removed. I found that there was nothing dirty inside the oil pan. No metal fragments. But where exactly is the problem? We must find the wear point. Could it be the bearings? Here, we need to remove the flywheel housing. In our country, the emission standards do not allow vehicles with China I and China II standards anymore. China III vehicles are no longer allowed. If it were allowed, I think many drivers would be willing to drive China III vehicles. They are indeed easy to drive, and they are powerful. The engine is also less prone to breakdowns. Here, all the gears need to be removed. The position of the gears has been inspected here, and there are no signs of wear. And over there is the camshaft gear. Let's take a look at the camshaft journals. Quite dirty. Can't see clearly. There shouldn't be any major problems. Next is to remove the crankshaft. You see, the crankshaft looks good in this situation. Actually, the problem lies in the crankshaft. This Andrea is also a clickbaiter. He wrote in the title, "Disassembling a dual crankshaft engine," and the picture was of 2 new crankshafts. I was stunned at the time. I thought, isn't this great content? What engine uses 2 crankshafts? Later, I realized I'd been tricked. I was ignorant. It turned out that his dual crankshaft referred to this engine's crankshaft, broken into 2 pieces. He's cleaning the piston here, and checked it, found the piston to be okay. because he's using a head-mounted camera. The video may appear a bit shaky. Actually, these parts should be completely disassembled. Then, they should be cleaned with high-pressure washing or sandblasting. And then, they should be re-inspected before being put back into use. But here, they just wipe away the surface oil stains with a cloth. Let's take a look first. First, preliminarily assess whether there's a problem with this. See, the first crankshaft has already come out. This is a simple broken shaft. There are many causes for this type of broken shaft. Firstly, it's the manufacturing defect of the crankshaft. Also, it involves the use of the vehicle and issues like overloading. Behind this, there's some content about the bus. Let's take a look. This bus has already been disassembled to its shell. They will disassemble the chassis next and sell it directly as scrap metal. The engine will be refurbished because there aren't many broken parts inside. The cylinder block wasn't damaged or penetrated. Just replacing a new crankshaft will do the trick. And it just so happens that they have these spare parts. So, this engine can be repaired later and sell it as a refurbished engine. That's all for today's content. I hope friends who like the video can like and comment more. I'm sorry, yesterday's content misled some of you guys. I heard some of you watched it on speaker. How embarrassing. Next time, I'll try to hide the music in the middle of the video. Give you a surprise. That's all for this episode. See you in the next episode. Thanks for watching, everyone.